I am content creator Claudine Francois and the founder of In Good Clean Taste. I am dedicated to helping women entrepreneurs design a healthy lifestyle by incorporating healthy, delicious tools, tips, and resources that empower their inner and outer game. Every episode, my featured guest and I share our healthy, delicious lifestyle journey on my globally recognized show, Healthy, Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine. Hello, and thank you so much for being here on Healthy, Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine. We have an absolute pro in our midst today, and she's going to share some pretty fantastic tips with us. And she has a special offer for our community. So you'll definitely want to stay on until the end to hear that. And I just know you're going to get so much out of this episode. So let's jump right in. As always, if you're interested in learning more about me, my products, and my services, you can check those out at ingoodcleantaste.com. Now, today's show topic is how to shop the looks and create a delicious style with Marion Gellatly. Oh my goodness, you're going to love her. I'm going to bring her up from the green room in just a moment, but let me tell you a little bit more about her. Marion empowers women 50 and better to look and feel their best so they show up awesome and authentic wherever they go without adding complexity to their busy lives. Can I get an amen? She does this through her Empowered Style to Call Your Own program and her 5-star VIP style experience. She also offers complimentary trainings called Fashion Flair Fridays in her private Facebook group, which we will be sure to link. Let me bring up Marion so you can meet her. Hello, Marion. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really honored. Thank you.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. And I'm so excited about today's topic. But before we get started, I'm going to ask you the question that I ask all my guests, which is, what does a healthy, delicious lifestyle mean to you?
To me, it means showing up and appreciating who you are, being proud of who you are, and not being afraid to be visible. So,
Mm.
to me, that just allows you to express so much about you that you want people to know because gosh, your what do I want to say? Your nonverbal communication, which means through your clothing and your body language, those kinds of things really do send powerful messages to other people. So, think about the fact that inside how awesome you are. But if you don't manifest that to the outside so other people get it quickly, you may miss an opportunity. So that's I think a healthy lifestyle is all about just owning your personal power.
Oh my gosh, that is so great. Wow. What a wonderful way to start the show. Own your personal power. I love that. That is so fantastic. And I hear you when you're saying the way you show up is the way people perceive you,
Mhm.
right? So showing up in your power. I don't know if you ever have done this or learned this, the whole Wonder Woman pose where you stand like to feel powerful before a meeting or before something. You stand in the Wonder Woman pose and you're like, I feel powerful.
Yes.
But I mean, think about it. When we are in an outfit that we're just like, I'm killing it in this outfit, we just like, we exude more confidence, right?
Absolutely. Isn't it amazing how what that can do to you? It's also too like when your hair when you're having a good hair day or not, or that kind of thing can affect you too. So although oftentimes we don't want to admit that those things can really empower us, they do. So, just accept it and embrace it and own it and move on. Have a great day.
I love it. That is a zesty citrus moment for sure. So, so good. Yes. And I want to get to your tips because your tips are so fantastic. And here's the first one that you shared. It was leave style insecurity and self doubt in the rearview mirror and attract the opportunities and people into your life that you want. Tell us more about that. That sounds really intriguing.
Well, it dovetails off of what I just said because, I've had my practice for 30 years now. So I have seen a lot and I have seen different ages of women, different sizes of women, different personalities of women, different lifestyles. And so there's no one magic bullet for all of us. But the one thing we need to do is to think about, again, owning that power and getting rid of questioning everything we see about ourselves in the mirror. And that leads to
Mm.
style insecurity. And the media is very guilty of feeding us all the things that we should be, or that we should look like, or that we should do. Well, I can tell you, my age, my height at 5'4", my curvy body that, probably has a little more flesh on it than it should, that could really lead to style insecurity for me. But I don't allow that to happen anymore. What I've learned is how to deal with what I have and how to dress my body and how to enhance my coloring and so forth. And that really makes me feel very empowered and
Mm.
very powerful for the day or the week or the year ahead.
I love that you said that, loving the way our body is now and learning how to you said something about coloring, right? Like learning how to complement your natural what you naturally look like. I
Exactly.
mean, you said curvy, right? Like I'm pretty pear-shaped naturally, right?
Right.
I just
Right.
tend to be doesn't matter how fit I am. I just tend to be bigger on the bottom than I am in the top.
Yeah.
And growing up with the Marilyn Monroe ideal, or even, in the 80s when you had that, like, I don't remember, Kate Moss maybe, where she was just like a stick.
Yeah.
Like, I
Right.
never fit into any of the ideals. And it wasn't until I lived in France where women, first of all, were shaped not like Marilyn Monroe,
Mhm. Mhm.
typically. And women were just confident in whatever it was, in whatever their biology was. They made it look fabulous because they took what my mother would call personal pride in
Mhm.
their appearance. They found out what is the best hairstyle for their face? What is the best way to do their makeup for their face? Which is hard, right? Because like I have these, what do they call, hooded eyelids, and all of the pictures I see of all the eye makeup are the people with like the big eyelids that you can see. I'm like, that's not going to work for me.
Right. Or me.
Right. And then finding clothes that work for you, which that has to be really hard, Marion, because I feel like clothes are made for people without curves. What do you think?
Well, I think there are definitely brands that do have more curvature to them, and
Hmm.
you just need to know what to look for, and that's why people hire me
Right.
because they really get stuck on this, and they've got a closet full of clothes, and they'll say to me, "Well, Marion, nothing makes me happy," and that just makes my heart sink when I hear that, because here is
Mm.
all this money that has been spent on these things that are hanging there, and I say, "Well, is there a reason why you bought this to begin with?" And they'll say, "Oh, well, I thought it was cute," or, "That's the latest style," or "The color was great for me." And those are all great things, but we also have to figure out, okay, what's going to work for our body as well. So, having a style that you love or having clothes in your closet that you love really requires quite a few things. I call them the pieces of the puzzle. You've
Mm.
got to know what kind of a body shape you have and what kind of designers or brands are out there that are going to work for you. If you're petite, if you're a large curvy woman, if you're hourglass shape, if you're pear shape, like you said, well, I I'm not sure anymore what what shape I am because I really have a mixture of shapes. And so that happens too, that sometimes as we mature, as we age, our body starts changing and things start moving around. I don't know whether this has happened to you yet, but things fall a little bit and we sort of get that middle, you know, extra flesh in there and a little extra roll of fat, and then suddenly the shape changes. Where did the waist go? So understanding that body shape is really important. And I also think the other thing that's very important is to really understand your coloring and what neutral colors or what accent colors work best for you. And
Yes.
yes, you were going to say, I see something up on the screen. Can I?
Well, it's kind of funny that you had brought up this particular lipstick that you like. I think it's called the Chanel. let me see. It's called the Chanel Le Rouge Duo Ultra Tenue. So
Oh,
ultra wear lip color, right? And I happen to use that one. This is my color. It's some kind of rose, we decided, right?
oh,
Something rose. But
yes.
I would not have I'm terrible at picking stuff up for myself. I go to the Chanel counter and I talk to my friend Duran. I'm like, Duran, you pick the colors because I don't know. And he picked this color for me. So it kind of dovetails into what you were talking about. If you don't know your colors, find a trusted advisor who can tell you your colors.
Yes, exactly. And what I will say about cosmetic counters is there are some that have women that have been trained in color, but I would say the majority have not been. So what they end up doing is promoting whatever the new colors are for the season, some of which
Mhm.
may be great for you, some of which may not. But it's important for you to know yourself so that when you go to the counters, you're empowered to say, no, I don't think that's really what's going to work for me. I'd like to try this one instead. So the
Mhm.
same thing with clothes, really knowing what colors up near your face, because we want things near our face that really bring us alive and really complement our personal coloring. So
Mhm.
knowing that, and color is a kind of a complicated topic, and I say to my clients, I want you to walk into a store and I want you to be able to ignore 90% of what's there. I want you to only focus on the 10% that really works for you based on your coloring, based on your body, and based on your personality, or what I like to call your
Mm.
style recipe, the words that you want to manifest or express through your style. So when you get that in alignment, let me tell you, get those pieces of the puzzle together, you know, you're going to really be happy with what you see in the mirror.
Yes, I love that. And you kind of touched on this already. Your second tip was accept your maturing body, simplify your wardrobe, and dress for the physical proportions that you live with now.
Yes.
Tell me what simplifying one's wardrobe looks like. I don't understand these words.
Okay. Oh,
I'm like, more is better, right?
no, truly it's not. I want you to think about this, that your wardrobe is not all the clothes that are in your closet.
Hmm.
Okay, it's not everything that's in your closet, because I'm going to bet that you don't wear everything in your closet. That there's probably things that are hanging there that you bought several years ago or that you brought home and then you said, well, why did I buy that? Your wardrobe is comprised of the things that you reach for day in and day out, that make you happy, that fit you well, that are a color that bring you alive, that have a fit that really flatters. So it's not important to have a lot, but it's important to really have things that, line up with all that I just mentioned. So, really getting clarity around all those things will simplify your life because you're not going to have this overabundance of stuff, none of which goes together. Now, if you're somebody, Claudine, who's got a closet where everything is going together and you love everything in your closet, 100%, then good. But I would say the majority of women that I work with, that is not the case.
Well,
So,
in your programs, do you teach people how to put things together? Because that's my issue. I don't buy separates. I buy an outfit and I wear it the same way every time because I don't understand how to mix and match.
okay,
I'm a very linear person.
mix, I'll tell you, that's a very simple perspective, and it's a simple way to live your life for sure. And so maybe that for your lifestyle is going to really work. But the idea is to have the right pieces in the closet, so, and fewer pieces, but that they all work together, they all do mix and match. And so yes, part of my training is all about how you put things together and what works with certain things and what doesn't work with certain things. Also,
Mm,
knowing the kinds of fabrics that you should choose for your body. So, are you somebody like me that's molded, that has a lot of curves, has flesh on their bones? Or are you somebody that is lean and mean and's got that athletic body? Or are you somebody that's very muscular and has taut muscles? Well, guess what? Fabrics are going to work different on different types of bodies. And sometimes we don't realize that it's the fabric that we don't like, that isn't
Mm.
working for our body. Sometimes it's the pattern that doesn't work for our body. So, there are a lot of little, like I say, these little um, half
Tweak.
percents, I call them, that add up to be big numbers that really
Mhm.
cause us to either like something or to dislike something. And my personal feeling is I want to know how to do it because I don't want to spend a lot of money, and I don't want to spend a lot of money on things that I bring home that then just sit there and collect dust and make me feel guilty.
That's a great idea. I love that. I think you need to go through my closet, Marion. So this next one, oh my gosh, I love this one. Next one. Acts of self-care add up and have a woman feeling more confident, beautiful, and empowered. Wow, you're just like laying down the great quotes today. Tell me about this. I mean, we all know I'm a big proponent of women taking time to care for themselves, but tell me how self-care adds up to helping a woman feel more confident, beautiful, and empowered.
Well, I think when we take care of ourselves, meaning we style our hair, or maybe we go to a new hairstylist and have a new look, or we put on makeup, even if it's light makeup, but something that just gives us a finished look. When we look in
Mm,
the mirror, we go, "Oh, well, that looks pretty nice." And then self-care could be going to the spa, having a massage, taking care of our body. It could be eating healthy with you and all that you teach us. And that has an effect, doesn't it? It's self-care, but it has a result on how we look at ourselves and how we feel about ourselves. And so
mm.
when we have, let's say, when our tummy's feeling good, when we've lost a few pounds, when we've exercised and built up our muscle, guess what? It has an effect on how we view ourselves, and usually that's with confidence. And I want you to look in the mirror and see a beautiful self, whatever that means to you. And I don't mean, you need to be all glammed up. That's not what I'm talking about when I say beautiful. I want you to feel beautiful. I want you to just feel um, assured that you've got the confidence to attack whatever is going to be going on that day, whether it's dealing with the kids, whether it's, going to work, whether it's standing on stage and doing a presentation, whether it's being on Zoom and leading a meeting. All these kinds of things, really can up level and empower us to do better, to continue to do better. Because, confidence builds on itself. When you feel confident down here, then it kind of leads you to, oh, raise the bar a little bit. And when you feel
Mm.
confident here, it raises the bar a little bit. And I know for me, that is something that um, has just proven to be true over all the years of my career and my business and being a mom and now being a grandmom, and I also think too, this is something that I discovered about my grandsons, one in particular, who said to his mother, Mom, grandma really is pretty.
Oh.
Wow, he saw that in me, and I think that's a wonderful thing for us to be examples of to our children or our grandchildren. That if we take care of ourselves, hopefully they're going to take care of themselves as well.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one of the things kind of you mentioned that in my programs, one of the people don't think about health coaching as setting up time for self-care, but that is a huge part of it because in my programs, I have my women set up time, usually a morning practice, because I find that if you set the stage for your day first thing in the morning before it gets crazy,
Yeah.
you're much more likely to it's a strange I don't know how to mind trick, but it's a little bit of a mind magic where you set that intention that you're going to put yourself first during the day.
Yeah.
And you do meditation, you do journaling, whatever it is that lights you up and that brings you that sense of calm that you can get through. You can handle all the things during your
Mhm.
day, right? But it also, you tend to be more relaxed, you tend to be less stressed, which means you tend to eat better, you tend to be more likely to take time to make yourself a healthy meal rather than just like grabbing and going, or what a lot of my clients do is just skipping meals.
Yeah, yeah.
You basically have set the intent, or set the tone for the day, that you matter, you're important, you need to be taken care of just as much as everybody else on your list.
I
So
totally agree with that. And I'll just say, as an example of that, a recent commitment I've made to myself is that every day I'm going to do 30 minutes of exercise, whether I want
mm,
to or not. And this morning, I mean, I knew I was doing the interview here, um, but guess what? I fit in my 30 minutes of exercise, and that really makes me feel good.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It, because it gives you those endorphins, and it actually just, as you said, it is a this is a British expression. I can't think of the American version, but it's a knock-on effect, right? Like the more you do it, the more you want to do it, and the better you feel. So the more you do it, so the more you want to do it. It's that repeating, that cycle. So tell me about this finishing touch flawless facial hair remover that you brought, because I'm intrigued. I'm like, oh, I might want to get this.
Well, you know, a lot of my clients, are 50 and better, as I said. And so what happens as we go through menopause and so forth, we start finding little hairs that we hadn't seen before, whether
Yeah.
it's in the upper lip, whether it's on the chin, and I don't know about you, but I don't want to shave, and and I don't want to go to have electrolysis done. I tried that many, many years ago. That's painful.
Oh.
So I found this little hack at Amazon, and I love this, and I recommend this to all my clients because first of all, it's attractive, as you can see the way it's packaged, and it's
Mhm.
got a little head on the top that just whirls around, and you just put it over your upper lip, and you can clean that upper lip before you head out to your meeting or, date night or whatever the case may be, and then you can get it up here on the chin area, wherever you want on the face. So it's called the flawless facial hair remover. You could get it in Amazon. It's under $20, and those
Nice.
little heads are replaceable. So when it gets
Mhm.
dull, you can just put on a new head and off to town you go.
Wow, so is it cutting or is it pulling?
No, it's got a circular motion, so it's just kind of shaving right at the skin. So it's not
Got
really
it.
pulling anything. Yeah.
Nice, I love it. Oh, awesome.
Too.
So, okay, our last share is be confident to be seen so you can share your light. So, I just love this one because I feel like so many women are hiding behind their looks, or hiding behind their bodies, or hiding behind something. And I feel like if they can just get out from under that cloud that is keeping them from shining their light, that they can make a huge impact in the world, because we all have something to offer. Tell me what you think of when you see that.
Well, certainly, I totally agree with you 100%, and I don't know that women always think about the fact that they're hiding. They just feel like things aren't important. These things showing
Mm,
up is not really important, or, having makeup on isn't important, or wearing something that really gives you, kind of that pep in your step isn't important. But it is important. It's important to you because when you do these things that I've been talking about, you just have more of a tendency to want to show up and to be visible for whoever it happens to be in your life. So the being seen again is kind of part of that whole self-care analogy that we talked about earlier. And being seen might be just as simple as putting on a pair of jeans for the day rather than your sweats, or putting on a pretty colored top and then wearing, your joggers on the bottom. But doing something that just makes you feel good, I think is number 1, you're gonna see yourself, but number 2, other people are going to see you. And you know what? First impressions are really important. I think that's something I can't drive home enough, that we make decisions about one another based on what we see. We try and figure out, well, do I think, that person is somebody I want to get to know, or do I think that person will do what she says she's going to do? So when your verbal words are not in alignment with your visual look, people will always believe what they see instead of what they hear. So you need
Mm.
to make sure that if you're saying, you're the best at something, you better make sure that how you look really, connects and interlocks with what you're saying.
Oh, so good. And tell me about this product that you shared with us, this Epiance facial, it's like a tinted sunscreen, right?
Well, it's a sunscreen, but as you can see, it's tinted. Number one, which I love. So if I don't want to put on my foundation for the day, what I'll do is get out my Epiance. I do that I put that on my face every single day, even if I'm going to put foundation over it, because number one, it's got a slight tint to it. It finishes off the unevenness in the skin. It gives you the SPF, so you've got the sun protection. And again, it's just a simple way of getting the job done without going through, a lot of hassle. So great
Mm,
little product,
nice.
SPF 50. And my dermatologist is the one that had recommended this to me, and I'm a true believer.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. That's so cool.
You're
I love
welcome.
that. And I do want to point out, you mentioned earlier, for those of us who might have a little bit extra where we don't want it, I do have a free guide called The Hidden Truths About Weight Loss. It is not your usual thing. So if anyone wants to know, like, what is going on with my body? Why is it acting weird? And why do all the normal things not work? You might want to check it out. So I'll put the link in here.
Cool.
Marion, it has been an absolute treat having you here today. And tell us where people can find you.
Well, they can find me, online, first of all. So my website is powerful-presence.com, or
Okay.
hyphen presence.com. You can find me on Facebook for sure. And I'd love to have you join one of my groups where I do every single week. I do a free training, a 20 to 30-minute free training on whatever the topic of the week is. This week, we're going to be talking about spring and summer shoes. So if you have an interest in hearing the trainings, even if you can't be there live, they are Facebook Live. If you can't be there live, they're always kept on the site so that you can refer to them. And you can go to facebook.com/groups/empowered style at 50 and better. And
Yes. So that's your Fashion Flare Friday. So we'll definitely link that in the comments.
okay. And then also, if you want to kind of see how satisfied you are with your style and the components that go into style, you can always take my style satisfaction quiz at stylesatisfactionquiz.com.
Yay. And we'll link that too. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So hang out in the green room, grab yourself a mocktail. I will come get you in just a minute and we'll chat after the show. Okay. Thank you so much, Marion.
Thank you.
Take care. Oh my goodness. How amazing was that, everyone? Wow. I hope you all got as much of that out of that as I did. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I want to remind you, how are you going to create a healthy, delicious lifestyle for yourself today? Until then, join me for another episode of Healthy, Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine next Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and have a healthy, delicious lifestyle. Thank you for joining me today. You can learn more about me, my products, and services at ingoodcleantaste.com. Be sure to join me for another episode every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific or 11 a.m. Central Standard Time on my globally recognized show, Healthy Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine.